Hello and welcome back to another edition of Trogley's Guitars. Today we have, well, probably one of the coolest V's I will ever have, and definitely one of the most modified guitars I've ever had. But this is a rare, well, semi-rare guitar that I kind of classify as a collector's instrument only, as I've never seen anybody actually play one of these. This one was born in 1980, and if you know anything about them, you might know what it is. It is the Gibson Flying V2. For some reason in the 80s, Gibson decided to remodel the Flying V and the Explorer in the E2 and V2 models. Their result for the Vs are a little bit funky looking. However, playability-wise, they're actually pretty okay. I think they did a few things wrong with the design, but we'll go over that here in a minute. Comes in its original case, which is beaten and tattered. It still functions as a case. However, I mean, this lid has came off. You gotta lift that up, and the outside's peeling just about everywhere. And that's starting to lift there, but overall, it's the original case. Now, let's take a look at this guitar. As I said before, I've never seen anybody actually play one of these, and that's mainly because of the price point. You can buy a faded Flying V for about, $700 to $900, and one of these in a normal finish typically runs you, at least $3,000. Now this one is in the rare original Bahama blue sparkle finish. This is one of the rarer finishes, and one of these in all original unmodified condition could probably fetch anywhere from $4,500 to $6,000. This one's gonna be a lot cheaper. Okay, so the headstock here has lots of wear and tear. As you can see there's a ding and lots of scratches. You have your original truss rod cover V2 there. And now you're gonna notice what's going on with this fretboard here. Somebody decided to scallop this fretboard. So it is scalloped all the way up the neck to here. And from here, all of the frets are scalloped, and then they kind of stopped doing it. So, ebony fretboard, they scalloped it for whatever reason. That must have been in the wood, whatever that is, and that's just a mineral streak in there. But apparently by doing so, they weakened the neck, and the owner got a little bit scared. So what they did was they decided to take it to a very well-respected luthier who did a fantastic job, and they took the neck and they routed it. Let's see if I can find it here. They took it from these two starting points and they just basically drilled a hole, up the neck in a cavity. You can see where the cavities stop right there. So, and by doing that, they inserted these steel rods into the neck, which have greatly made this neck way more stabler, to the point where you'll never have to worry about it again. It's super straight, it's great, and you have this huge volute on there. So no headstock breaks per se, but you did have that neck work in order to compensate for the scalloped fretboard. Now if you've never played scallops before, this was my first guitar with it as well. It's surprisingly comfortable. You don't realize how much your fingers really drag across the wood until you play one of these. I wouldn't say it's super difficult to adjust, But if you're mainly a chord player, I would not suggest it. When you strum a note, you can bend it just by pushing down farther. So when you're putting a lot of pressure on for chords, they can bend them flat and sharp and all that. So if you're mainly a chord player, I would not suggest this one. But if you're a shredder, you're going to love it. You can vibrato and do some crazy bends on this guy super fast. So I really love Scallops after this, especially if I were more of a lead player. Now, the guitar is showing up more of a deep blue. It's more of an aqua blue in person. I'll turn it up. See, that's a little bit more accurate right there. However, you still have the original pickups. These are very stratty sounding to me. They're very interesting. And now, this was rewired to one volume and one tone here. You're missing the tip here, but you do have this functioning. So this used to be either one volume and two tones, or two tones and a volume. And the input jack for this guitar was initially right here, but they moved it right there to be a front loader. However, you can rewire this any way you want. That's up to you. This is completely a player's grade model, so it's great in that point because you can do whatever you want with it and not feel guilty. You have a little bit of finish wear down there. And I mean, there's wear everywhere. That's where his arm was. Some more finish wear there. But, it's a rare finish. The sparkles, that is original to the finish. That was not added. So back around to the back side. This is a 1980 model, 211th day of the year, 49th in production. You can see you got some wear up there. Once again, no breaks or repairs, except for the added steel rods in the neck. And the luthier apparently was able to get a hold of Gibson and got the Bahama blue finish from them. And if I weren't to tell you that it was refinished, if I were told this, I would probably actually believe that it wasn't. Because the finish is exact, except for it's aged differently. Let's see if I can turn the brightness up here. Maybe turn it down. You can kind of see it here, where right here it is actually a darker green color. So it's kind of aged differently. And you can kind of see that throughout the neck. It's a little bit more of a green color. But you do know that Pelham blue ages into green. So, I mean, you could write it off as it just aged differently. However, that's not the case. It does have a refinished neck. Why they didn't fix this part, well, maybe it wasn't there yet, but you do have a big buckle rash thing going on there. But lots of scratches, nicks and dings everywhere. This is a player's grade model. You can't complain about scratches and dings on this one. So overall, if you want to have one of the coolest flying Vs out there, that I almost guarantee that nobody will have ever seen one of these in person at a show that you play it at, this is definitely the guitar for you. It's really interesting. I was tempted to keep this one, but we'll see who gets to be the lucky owner. As always, thank you for watching, and you can contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, TROGLYS. That's where we can discuss my best price available on this guitar, as well as answer any questions you may have. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.